My golden child sister trapped me in a trunk and shared my trauma with her friends, so I called her out and ruined her birthday. My sister Kim had her birthday dinner 2 nights ago, and there were about 12 people in attendance. Anyway, Kim and I aren't close. She was the golden child, and I was the scapegoat. Kim was always cruel to me and got away with it because my mom never held her accountable. She had one too many drinks at dinner and began telling an incredibly traumatizing story from my childhood. Kim constantly tells this story as if it's goofy and lighthearted. The trauma from this situation impacts my daily life. When I was 9 and Kim was 12, we were at my neighbor Nate's house. Nate had an old storage trunk in his room, and Kim convinced me to get in the trunk. The trunk had a built-in lock that didn't work. Once I was inside, they closed the lid, and somehow the lock on the trunk suddenly worked again. They tried for several minutes to get it open. At first, I thought they were just messing with me and pretending they couldn't open it. Once I realized they weren't joking, I began to panic. Nate refused to get his parents because he didn't want to get in trouble. He then began making jokes to scare me, like, "Let's throw the trunk down the stairs to see if that opens it, and let's set it on fire and burn her out." After an hour of being trapped there, he said, "I'm not getting in trouble for this, I'm going to watch TV." He and Kim left the room to watch TV while I cried and panicked. They came back an hour later and tried opening the trunk again. My legs had gone numb and my whole body was aching. I had been crying for hours and told them I felt like I was running out of air. They discussed how they could get me out without getting in trouble. Finally, after almost 3 hours of being stuck there, he finally got his parents. His dad came running in with a crowbar and pried the lid open. His parents apologized to me profusely and grounded Nate. My parents, however, did nothing to discipline Kim and told me I was being dramatic. That experience traumatized me. And to this day, I am severely claustrophobic. I can't even cuddle my fiancé because it's too constricting. Kim began telling the trunk story for the 1,000th time, laughing as if it were an amusing childhood story. Without raising my voice, I cut her off and said, "That's not a funny story, Kim. You're always telling this story like a cute tale from our youth." That was traumatizing. I have regular nightmares and flashbacks from that day. To this day, I have extreme claustrophobia. I could have died from suffocation. It's not like I was in there for 10 minutes. I was in there for almost 3 hours. Everyone got quiet and just kind of awkwardly stared at their food. We sat in silence for the rest of the meal, and everyone looked at Kim disapprovingly. It unalived the vibe. Kim and my mom sent me angry texts saying that I owed Kim an apology for making a scene and ruining her birthday. But I told my mom that Kim's attitude is her fault. Every time she tells that story, I'm in the trunk again. All the trauma comes flooding back.